So just to touch on a little bit why Viridis was created. By way of background, I'm actually a former U.S. Army paratrooper attached to a Special Force battalion. And when I was transitioning out of the military, basically what I noticed was that there was a common theme through what's called the Career Assistance Program. And that common theme was something called a DD-214. So basically in your DD-214, think of it as your military credit score, where all your data on skills, competencies are inputted, and that data flows directly into your counselor and they can help provide input. But in the civilian life, that doesn't exist. And so when we were looking at the civilian world, my buddies and I were baffled on the fact that there wasn't no equivalent of a DD-214, a driver's license, or electronic health record for education through employment. So we decided to basically create it. So the problem is basically that there is a lack of data interoperability between data sets in education, so that could be student information systems, applicant tracking systems like Workday or things like that, but also government agencies like the UI wage systems, where the unemployment agencies maintain salary and wages. So what we decided to do was essentially create what's called the Skill Passport. And what the Skill Passport is that the minute a student enters an institution, they automatically generate a Skill Passport that ties in their course, their programs, their education. We're able to cross-reference that and validate that. And then we're able to create a recommended pathway to the localized market demand need and essentially guide them all the way through employment while maintaining that data post-employment. Because right now, 35 out of 50 states in the US require post-employment accountability tracking data. So, this is what the Skill Passport looks like. So essentially, no data can go on here unless it's actually verified. And how we verify it, as I said before, is through the integration to the SIS systems, but also we have data sharing agreement approvals with states like Texas, California, and many others that allow us to reverse map where they worked in 2015, 2014, so we can accrue additional insight into their skills and competencies. So a user will see their Skill Passport, they maintain this on their mobile phone or their dashboard, and then they're able to get recommended and all the way through employment, and they also keep it once they're employed so they continue upward mobility. So how does Viridis work? So again, as I was saying before, we tie in and integrate. We're all about integration. So integrating into the student information systems, ERP systems, tying in to the applicant tracking systems, as well as the government systems allow us to essentially create a permanent profile for employability, that no one can add any data without us actually verifying that data. Think of your credit score, for example. So as we move forward, this is an example of, of how we conduct interoperability. So you can see on the left side are some of the SIS systems, student information systems. On the right side, you see some of the applicant tracking systems. So we're not actually dependent on any one job board because we actually are embedded into these applicant tracking systems. We're also excited to announce that Salesforce actually will be announcing this week as an investor in Viridis. So we have unlimited capacity to tie into any set of data from a CRM perspective. Salesforce basically being the largest cloud CRM tool allows us to tie in an immense amount of data. So this basically means that the minute a record is created within a state on the CRM side, a Skill Passport would generate. And we automatically can reverse map that into the passport around skills and so on. So this is what our partnership with Salesforce is going to look like. We basically are creating for the first time a connected campus skills passport accountability tracking system. So what that means basically is from the minute a student enters admission, recruitment, all the way through post-employment and beyond, as well as tying in an automated advising system as well, because as you know, a lot of advisors, minimal advisors to a lot of students. So we're pretty excited about this. This will be a big deal. They have about 1,400 colleges, so immediately plugging in the Skill Passport into that pretty rapidly. So this is just an example of some of our colleges. Obviously we've had a heavy focus on California, Texas, Hawaii, Florida, as well as New York. We work mainly starting with community colleges. Our work actually originated with disseminating skill passports in Rikers Island in New York, where we started with the formerly incarcerated. And the reason for that is because no one believed that these folks can get jobs and that anyone would hire, anybody, that they would understand what a pathway to employment might be. So we actually placed 70% of 5,000 of these individuals through the skill passport. So where are we now? We've closed a round. We've formulated a pretty strong board. We'll probably be doing a pretty significant B round, soon. And we're focused on ensuring that at this stage we continue to integrate this what I call interoperability triangle between education, employment, and government databases, so that we can truly actually develop the first ever permanent profile from education to employability, and maintaining that once you're inside, so that you can have the highest upward mobility moving forward. So that's basically what we're doing. Happy to answer any questions after this, and yeah, thank you very much.